Yes, I'm gonna be answering one of the most commonly asked questions. What is your favorite climbing shoes? Yeah, so the first one I got here is Solution Comp, Skwama's, Futura's, Theroys. And I wear them for different situations and for different boulders. The reason I have so many women models is because they don't produce much in my size. These are the only option that's left for me.
Has anyone ever told you that you're wearing girl shoes?
Oh yeah, I mean they're like, oh, why are you wearing girl shoes? Is it because you're short? I mean, I asked Sportiva Korea to give me like men's shoes, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we're out of the size. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk about solution comps. Let's move this. Okay, sizing first. I wear street shoe size 245 mils, which is 38 EU, and these are 36 EU, which means that I go downsize by 3, right? So they are the most stiff shoes in line, which means that their downturn is really just aggressive. Also, the rubbers are really hard, which makes them really great on overhang climbs and for outdoor boulders. On smaller edges, it feels really solid. Since the downturn is that aggressive, it feels like you're gripping with your toe. It can be very accurate. And aiming your toe into a specific hold. One of the biggest issues on older version of solutions was the heel cup, because the heel cup was like too big. As evolving into solution comp, but they changed it a little narrower to fit more people, including me. Also, the heel hooks better on cut holes than on like flat surface. For some reason, I don't know why. The shoes are not so flexible. They are really good on small edges, but maybe not so, not the best on flat surface. I prefer other shoes when the climb is these modern style volumes. So I personally wear this when it's overhang. Like when I train on the moonboard, I'll be wearing this for sure. If it's an outdoor project, I'll be wearing this as well. I mean, these days, recently I kind of prefer like comfortable shoes, and they're not so comfortable, They're actually notorious for being not comfortable. So now I don't wear them as much. I wear them only for board training, when I really want to send something hard project on the moonboard. Other than that, I have other friends. Number 2. Okay, Skwama's. Okay, so the order of stiffness is actually this. Most stiff and the softest. So this is actually falls in the middle. Not so stiff, not so soft, which makes Skwama's very, I would say, versatile, functional on most situations. When I first tried them, I couldn't see any bad thing on these. Like, I couldn't see the best thing on these, but what's good about it is this doesn't really have weakness. Does this have like the strongest toe? I don't think so. Does this have the strongest heel? I don't think so. Is it the most comfortable shoes? I don't think so. But every bit of it is better than the average. Jack of all trades, yes. I use this for daily training on regular gym sessions. Flat surface volume, wooden volumes, and especially when I don't want to change the shoes. You're having a gym session, you go slap climb and then overhang, coordinations, you know. You have so many variations in style, right? Sometimes you don't want to like change shoes every time for every boulder. So then I go with these. But heel hook wise, I think these are, so if I compare these two, like edging, toe edging wise, Solution comes like way better than this. But heel hook wise, I prefer this. Heel hook's really like solid on most types of holes. So yeah, that was Skwama's.
Okay. What are those?
They're okay. These are Futuras, and they are actually my recent crush. Stiffness wise, these also fall into the middle section, like not so soft, not so stiff, but a little softer than Skwama's. So break-in period is much shorter than Skwama's. It takes about actually 1 day, just a session. That's why I prefer these as I'm getting older, you know. Like I don't want to torture myself with break-in period, so yeah, maybe that's why. Also, same as Skwama's. Like with these, I wouldn't usually change to other shoes for boulders unless that's something at my limit and I'm like projecting it. Unless I need a like mighty edging power of solutions, I wouldn't really change to other shoes. They're my recent go-to crush favorite shoes. Among these four, I think Futuras, I feel most confident in heel hook in Futuras. And also the lacing is same as Solution comps, so it breaks pretty easily. But easily as in like if you go outdoor and you toe hook on like on rock surface and it scratches, you know. And if you do it repeatedly, of course, it breaks easily compared to other shoes. But then here I also use dental floss. Yeah. So the front edge here, they say it's like new technology on La Sportiva, which is called no edging, right? It's basically, I don't know what they did. I can only tell you my personal opinion, actually, and personal feeling on these is I actually feel no difference. Only thing about this is when the foothold gets really small and edgy, you know, these are not actually that good. Then I use Solution comps. But on most types of footholds, it works just perfect. The only issue I have in these shoes is the toe hook, because you see the rubber is not like covering much here on the toe box. So when you go deep in toe hook, it's not as solid as other Sportiva shoes. Like you see this, when you see this, Solution comes as almost as double in rubber coverage, right? Like this. But for some reason they only covered like a small area, so toe hook's not really solid. Other than that, they're really good. Comfortable, easy break-in, good on heel hooks, and I think that's about it actually on these. Okay, so these are the last ones. Theories, they're the softest shoes in line. So the break-in period is just nothing. I mean, as soon as you wear it, it feels like socks. It's really soft and really comfortable. It takes about 30 minutes to break in actually. I wear them when route setting, you know, really comfortable. Easy in, easy out. Since it's soft, you can be very flexible with your feet, so it's good on slab climbs. modern style comp style bouldering with flat surface. But since the rubber is like really thin, maybe too thin for my liking personally, it's not the best shoes for outdoor bouldering. I've tested it outside. The rubber's too thin actually, so when you're stepping on a rock, you kind of feel the like roughness of the rock like onto your toe skin. So it hurts sometimes. Also, surprisingly, Theroys are really great in toe hooks because the rubber coverage is really huge. In indoor climbs, I really enjoyed toe hooking in them. And there was this outdoor boulder that required like this intensive toe hook sequence. So I was like, oh, maybe I would try them on that boulder as well. I took these to that boulder and tried to move. Surprisingly enough, their toe hooks wasn't as good in outdoors. So I immediately changed to Solution Compass. So I personally wear them exclusively for indoor climbs. And when my feet are really tired, and I feel like I need the most, comfortable shoes, then I take these. Also the heel hook, the rubber's too thin. The heel hook gets really aggressive. It peels up pretty easily, so I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, for regular gym sessions, I would take this. It's just really comfortable,
If you could only wear one model for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Oh, okay. That's really the nature of this video. It's definitely not this, right? Definitely not this. And it's definitely not these either. Actually, this one. No, yeah. Actually, this one. Because, the edging power is just like incomparable, like the best. And yes, they're aggressive and it's painful to wear and et cetera, but whatever, they're good. Yeah, and most of my projects are like really steep and aggressive on your, it relies on your toe most of the time, so. Because I'm not a comp climber, Yeah, on slab climbs, it's not very advantageous, but still, if you're strong enough, I think I can, still slab climb in these. So, yeah, this will be my favorite actually. La Sportiva has this newest model, Mantras. I've had an opportunity to try them a few times. They also have this no-edge technology here, which feels pretty much like Futura's, so I like them. They're like slip-ons, easy in and easy out. What I found unique about them is, although they're like slip-on shoes, they're pretty aggressive for slip-ons, which is for my liking actually. I like aggressive shoes. Thank you everybody for watching, and stay tuned for the next Derek's edit.